Today we're going to go over the retrieval of a squarebill. I've got a couple different retrievals I actually use depending on where I'm at and what I'm fishing. We're just here at my pond right now, so I'm going to kind of go over a few of them. My first retrieve that pretty much everybody uses all the time is just a slow, steady retrieve. I mean, there's no change in the cadence, no nothing like that. You're just going to take it, just nice, slow, steady retrieve. You know, let that bait just work back and forth on its own. Let it do what it's designed to do. So that's the first retrieve. I'll get in here with the second one here. And just to let you guys know, it's nothing special on what I'm using. This is just a Lew's speed spool here. Just a nice cheap reel, nothing expensive. I got a 7-to-1 gear ratio. My rod is actually a medium heavy fast action tip. I like the fast action tip a little bit better, just for when they come up and they snap out a little bit. You know, you're not going to set a hook with a crankbait of any type. You're just gonna kind of reel back into them and just lean back into it. You start trying to set a hook like you would on a Texas rig or Carolina rig or something like that, you're gonna end up bending your hooks out and just losing fish left and right. So on the second retrieve, this is probably my favorite retrieve of all. This is what I usually do probably 80-90% of the time. It's just change the cadence a lot. It's just reel, stop, reel a little bit, stop, reel a little bit, stop. Wait a few seconds, start it back up again, and just constantly keep changing your cadence. Don't ever do the same thing. Just keep changing it up. And a lot of times they come up when that thing is stopped, you know, right there. They'll come up and they'll smoke it right there. So that's the second one. On the third one, this one's a lot if I'm fishing a lot of riprap or something like that with a lot of big chunk rock in it. The first retrieve, that slow steady retrieve, is going to get it down there and it's going to hit a lot of the tops of the rocks, but a lot of times it's actually going to dig in and get hung up a lot more too. Same with the second retrieve. When you're trying to go real fast and just change your cadence a lot, it keeps diving down and farther, you know, on a shallow bank and gets in there. So with this retrieve here is what I use a lot, is I'll do a slow steady retrieve, and when I feel it start tipping the rocks, kind of pick your rod tip up a little bit. Just enough to where it's barely hitting them. You'll be able to feel it. If you're hitting them still too much and you're getting hung up still, just raise your rod tip a little bit more. You don't have to worry about a hook set when you're doing this either. Like I said, there is no hook set. You're just going to lean back into them. So if you're running down the bank, let's say a dam on a lake or something like that, or even a pond that's got riprap rock on it or anything, and you're standing way up here with your rod, just sweep to the side a little bit. Like I said, you don't have to set that hook. Just lean back into them. I mean, I have hardly any fish come off that way. So the other thing I will tell you with a squarebill, a lot of times if I'm fishing, let's say around just standing timber or something like that, you always want to throw this squarebill right up next to it and come along that side and actually have your squarebill hit and deflect off there. As soon as it does, I stop. Quit reeling for about a second or two, just a little pause, and I'll start reeling again. But one thing that I can tell you that I do is when I get around there, and this is really for more of a springtime when they're spawning or something like that, I seem to get a lot of reactions off this bite. Is I'll get it up there and I'll run into something like a log or a tree or something like that, and when I know it's off of that, what I'll do is I'll just pop the slack about 2 times. I don't want a bunch, it just gives that just a little flutter right there. And a lot of times them bass, they'll come up and eat it right then and there. They don't want them hanging over their, you know, their beds or anything like that. So they'll come up, they'll be pretty aggressive, I can tell you that. So that's about all I have for you guys tonight. Till next time, I think I'm going to call out Tackle Junkie. He is the squarebill king. So maybe if we get a chance, maybe we'll have a little contest on who's a better squarebill fisherman. So we'll see you till next time. Thanks. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. See you guys.